One of the pros of my practice and what I think I like the best is the clients. For the most part, we represent extremely bright, successful people who have successful businesses, and they've built those businesses themselves. They're a pleasure to work with because we go through very difficult, very stressful time, and we bring them through the most challenging times of their life.
I echo that, Bart. I love the initial meeting with a client after they get an inquiry from the SEC or an inquiry from the Department of Justice. And I love it because of the challenge, but I also love it because I get a chance to educate the client on the process, which has a tendency to sort of ratchet down the anxiety. But at the end of that conversation, I get to say to the client, you don't need to worry about this anymore. Let me worry about this. And that's very satisfying for me because, like Bart said, these folks have not been through this process before. And to be able to not only educate them, but to say to them, let me do the worrying for you is very satisfying.
If you're in a heavily regulated business, that is, if you're a healthcare provider, if you're a defense contractor, if you're in the securities business, or if you deal with financial institutions, any of these, all of these are heavily regulated and are governed specifically by rules and regulations and statutes that are very complex and difficult to comply with all of them.
My clients are very sophisticated people. However, I think those who work in these heavily regulated industries don't appreciate the breadth of the regulations and the dynamic nature of the regulations, which are changing or being tweaked all the time. That's the value that we can bring to a client, not only when the government comes calling, but before that, in the hope, sometimes in vain, that the government doesn't come calling, to keep them abreast of the regulatory environment and the dynamic nature of it, so they can be as compliant as possible with that changing environment.